There are 40,000 British troops in the Gulf. A lot of families are waiting for news from the Gulf area as the land war progresses. Our reporter, David Chater, is with the Gulf Support Group in Glasgow.
In hundreds of homes throughout Glasgow tonight, candles are being lit for the men in the front line as the ground assault goes in. The fears for their loved ones now all too real. It's at this time, above all, that self-help groups like this one are needed. Somewhere to share their emotions, to lean on others in the anxious hours and days that lie ahead as the ground battle unfolds.
You know, I know that he's one of the first in. And you read so much about what's going to happen, you know, and you just wonder how they're going to come home. Are they going to come home the same boys as they went out?
There's no word that can explain exactly what goes through your mind, because you sort of sit and you think about all the things that could happen, and then you try to say, but it won't happen. But the wee voice says, but it might. And I suppose at this time you've really got to, it's only God that can help you, and you've really got to say, right, well, God will be done.
The support group has been collecting items to send out to the troops in the Gulf. Small things like crisp packets or sweets, anything to remind them of home, to bring them some small comfort in the desert, items that many of the soldiers will now be carrying with them into battle.
Small, simple things like jaffa cakes, particular types of sweets, which remind them of home.
Volunteers are manning the phones here 24 hours a day, taking calls from soldiers' families and relatives, giving what help they can. Annie Weisner knows what they're going through. She lost a son in the Falklands.
It's a pure hell. It is a pure hell. You take each day as it comes. But I found that the group helped me, because I could come in here and I could talk about Mark, where some people, which I call the outside world, find it very embarrassing.
As the candles burn in thousands of windows throughout Scotland, all thoughts are now with the soldiers in the Gulf as battle is joined on the ground. David Chater, ITN in Glasgow.
British families waiting for news from the area. I'm joined in the studio now by Talal Al-Salem of the Free Kuwait campaign. When was the last time you were able to talk to your sources in Kuwait?
Well, the last time was about a day ago, when in fact we had a lot of reports about lots of arrests and murder taking place in the streets, so that it got to the point where the young Kuwaitis between the ages of, from 14 and upwards, were actually getting arrested and either interned in Iraq, possibly for the use later maybe as a bargaining chip or the last card for whatever. And others who actually got murdered on the spot if they resisted.
We heard President Bush in his statement yesterday when he set the deadline, saying that there were reports coming in of summary executions, and indeed it's now believed that the Iraqis are putting Kuwait to the torch.
This is what seems like. Saddam seems to be carrying on every single evil promise he promised and ducking every single peaceful promise he promised, which seems to be in character with this man. And although the ground war, having started, might have devastating effect on Kuwait, however, we feel it is an important thing to get rid of evil in the area and get rid of Saddam and stop his military power from spreading any further. And we hope that this is going to be a fast and surgical war with the minimum losses to the Allies' forces. We feel with the British people at home waiting for their loved ones in the Gulf, we also, I as one, have all my family still in Kuwait, and I haven't heard from them since the 2nd of August.
You're not able to get through in any way to them?
Not at all. Not since the 2nd of August. I haven't been able to hear anything from them. And this is very, very torturous. The only thing we have is general reports of summary executions and murder and rape taking place inside Kuwait. And I do feel for the families at this particular moment, and we hope and we pray that this is going to be as quick as possibly can.
Mr. Al-Salem, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We'll bring you up to date in a moment, but just to remind you, we're interrupting our normal programmes on ITV to bring you the latest developments on the Gulf War. We'll stay on the air as the news from the Gulf comes in. For the moment, we'll take a short break. Join us in a few minutes.